Kyle, you said yesterday if the Raiders win on Sunday night, you think that they are a Super Bowl contender. So it's what some would call a pivotal.
Nice.
Pivotal.
Oh, good job. Pivotal matchup. Nate, let's start with you. Which team could change your mind after Week 11?
You just got done talking about Lamar Jackson and him facing the Tennessee Titans. I feel like Lamar Jackson, it's been written off by most of football fans because he's not recapturing the magic that he had last year. He was so dominant. Led the league in rushing as a quarterback and passing as a quarterback. He was unanimous MVP. And all of a sudden, he is not playing that well. People are saying, you know what? They're not as good. I'll say, hold on. Hold on. Because if he goes out there and makes a statement up against the Titans, who we respect, regardless if you think they're inconsistent or not, we respect them as one of the better teams in the business, takes care of the ball, runs the ball well, throws the ball well. If they deliver a knockout blow to the Tennessee Titans, then all of a sudden, I guarantee you this, we'll wake up next week and we'll start talking about how good the Ravens are, and how well of a chance they have of getting into the playoffs and upsetting and flipping the table over in the AFC. So I got Lamar Jackson as a guy that we still shouldn't write off.
What happened last time when they played the Titans? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do remember. Straight. That was
so internalize it. Tell me why you're saying Lamar's got to do this, and they're gonna what's going to be different?
Because of the Titans this year. Have you watched the Titans this year?
Tell me what Lamar can do, because so far a lot of people are jumping off, and you're acting as if it's not warranted.
Last time they played the Titans were the hottest team in the NFL. Period. You can't even argue that. Now the Titans are walking like the wounded. So if I'm Lamar Jackson and I'm coming off a game where I lose to an older OG in Cam Newton and defenses are calling out my plays, one, the offense is going to be called better, the playbook is going to look better, and Lamar Jackson is going to take care of the ball. That's why this is different. He's not facing the same Titans team from last year. He's facing a new team that he could take advantage of.
So wouldn't that be them just beating up on a bad team? Like, do you think better of Lamar?
That's why I said a convincing win. Now, if he scrapes out an ugly win and he has a couple of turnovers, it's the same question. Is Lamar really a guy that can win a big game and take care of the rock? But if he takes care of the ball and they beat up on the Titans, statement game. You said it earlier in the show. There's teams that need to make some You said it for the Steelers. For sure. They're undefeated.
For sure.
I believe the Ravens need a statement game, and this will be it.
The team that I'm really interested in right now, and was interested in, but now I have no idea what we're getting from the Saints. No idea what we're getting from the Saints. And everyone expects, okay, well, you just got to hold the fort and do what Teddy did last year. What if Jameis is really good? What if Jameis comes in and opens up that offense and does things that Brees can't do? Jameis has a far stronger arm than Drew Brees at this point in his career. Jameis is probably more mobile than Brees in his career. He's not the accurate passer. He's not the master of that offense. But I'm almost wondering if the Saints can have a different gear with Jameis. I know that sounds crazy. Brees was playing great. But what if it's the other way? What if it's not, Jameis is going to crush you guys over the next few weeks, but what if Jameis elevates what the Saints can do on offense? Suddenly you can throw a 50-yard pass, you can throw a 60-yard pass, suddenly you can do things out of the pocket, get Taysom and Jamison. They play Atlanta twice, and everyone says, all right, well, those should be wins. Atlanta has
beat them last year.
Atlanta's also, they beat them last year.
They're playing well right now.
3 or 4 games.
Atlanta's good right now.
Atlanta's really good this year, and if Todd Gurley doesn't accidentally go into the end zone there, and Matt Stafford doesn't lead him back, Atlanta would be winning 4 straight games coming off a bye, which is not what you want to face if you're the Saints, your division rival. So Saints, to me, so interested in this game, and Jameis particularly, because I don't necessarily believe this team takes a huge dip offensively. I think there might be things and chapters in this book that Sean Payton's been kind of having that he can't really go to with Brees that maybe he can with Jameis.
I feel like Payton might be licking his chops in that sense. He loves Brees, and they've done great things together, but okay, I don't have to play this guy. I can just go crazy in my laboratory, and Jameis here and Taysom here. I completely agree with you. I wouldn't surprise to see them skyrocket this weekend, and then there'll be a lot of takes next week.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of takes. Yeah. But my take is, we started the segment with it, I think if the Oakland Raiders, rather the Las Vegas Raiders, beat the Chiefs this weekend, then they're completely on the map. They are a Super Bowl contender who has beaten the Chiefs 2 times in one season. I think it's the biggest Raiders game in about 4 years. I really do. They had a game back in 2016 against the Chiefs on a Thursday night, Week 14, and it was for the West, basically, and they got smashed. They got smashed by Spencer Ware and Alex Smith, and I don't think they've been the same since. If the Raiders beat the Chiefs this weekend, it validates John Gruden. It validates Mayock. It validates Carr. It is not an Oakland Raiders moment. It is a Las Vegas Raiders moment, even if you get to the playoffs and lose in the wild card. Dude, you swept Mahomes 2 times, and I think it's going to be a really, really emotional game for both sides. I want to call my shot here. This is something we would do on a Friday.
Oh, boy.
I think Tyreek Hill is going to score a touchdown in this game, and he and the wide receivers are going to do a bus-themed celebration in the end zone in which he drives the bus and they do laps around the end zone based on the Raiders doing it outside of Arrowhead. We did not spend enough time on that. The fact that John Gruden was asked, hey, you guys did victory laps outside of Arrowhead. What was that about? And he got really pissed, and he said, next question. He talked about a bus driver he literally threw the bus driver under the bus. Like, it was a crazy moment. There's emotions. Even Andy Reid, who's usually so jolly, yeah. That's not how we do things on this team. This feels college-like, and if the Raiders win, they're a Super Bowl contender.
Can I call my shot?
Okay.
Hey.
That opportunistic Raiders defense,
okay,
who forced Pat Mahomes to throw his only interception in the season, will get a turnover, take it to the house, whether it's a scoop and score or an interception, and they will do the bust thing.
See, that'd be great.
That's what I think is going to happen. Think about it. If you're the Raiders, offensively, okay, Derek Carr's playing well. You got Josh Jacobs, wide receivers. That's fine. But their defense that forced Pat Mahomes, the incredible Pat Mahomes, to throw his only interception, how confident are they coming in? Not only do they play well on the back end, they get after quarterbacks. I think defensively, this is where this matchup is really going to get interesting.
Strakes, can you do one of those things where you say the Chiefs are going to put up 60?
Sort of. It's like
the Chiefs might blow them out.
The last 2 times we saw the Chiefs, Mahomes threw 4 touchdown passes and 5 touchdown passes. They went on the bye, and suddenly we forget about the Chiefs. He's thrown 25 touchdowns, 1 interception, and is getting better every week. This does have the potential of Mahomes saying, it's a fun storyline for us to talk about on Good Morning Football. I'm going to go out there and carpet bomb you with 500 yards. And
there's a flamethrower potential for Mahomes. But I think the Raiders are good. I really do.
I have one I want to bring up, the Colts. If the Colts beat the Packers, does it change anybody's mind? Does it make them contenders in the AFC? They would then have a 7-3 record. They would have a win over Aaron Rodgers that pulls them into a tie with Buffalo for the 3 seed. Would your minds be changed if Indy took care of business against Green Bay?
Yeah.
It's a weird trophy, Green Bay, because the Vikings smashed them and the Bucs smashed them. So it's not the shiniest trophy anymore like it used to be. Like, oh my God, you beat the Packers, you can go to the Super Bowl. The Colts matter. They're going to matter if they win this weekend. Credit to them. But like, Green Bay has something to prove too. I do. I think so.
I think it's a huge statement game because the Colts got also smacked around by the Ravens 2 weeks ago, and it's like, all right, when you play those teams, can you get if they can beat Rodgers? Now here's the thing with Green Bay. They're down without their top 2 starting cornerbacks. Phillip Rivers has to eat there. That means he's got to start doing some things.
Not a lot of history with Rivers and Rodgers. Like,
we're going to get into it this week.
Peter,
we got something.
For me, I feel like
I know you like the Colts.
The teams that are good right now, I respect them for their record because Pat Mahomes isn't by far ahead of everybody else, and they have not just their loss, but they have looked like they can bleed throughout the season. So I just clumped them all in. There isn't one team that I'm looking at and saying they're going to run away with this thing. If you're in playoff contention right now, I honestly think you can win the Super Bowl. All of these teams have legitimate.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Because I don't think there is the juggernaut in either.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, after MFP, we're going to go to Ian Rappaport right now because we do have a couple injuries to get updates on. A couple quarterbacks banged up ahead of Week 11. Ian, welcome to the show. What's the latest on Matthew Stafford and Drew Lock with the Broncos?
We'll start with Broncos starter Drew Lock. He went down on Sunday, was first of all really beat up on Sunday, had an injury to his rib area, not actually to his ribs, but to a muscle around his ribs in that area, kind of an oblique type injury. He's got a strain, he's got some bruising, a very painful injury. My understanding is he is not expected to do much of anything today. If he gets out there somehow in the practice field, he's going to do basically nothing. Today is going to be a rest day. But from what I am told, he's feeling a lot better, was feeling a lot better late last night than he was on Monday and is expected to get out in the practice field at some point this week. He is day to day and he is going to try to play. We'll see if he is able to actually do that. And then you mentioned Matthew Stafford. He had x-rays after the game on his throwing thumb. Those were negative. That's a good sign. He does have a slight tear in a ligament in his thumb, which means he is not going to be 100% on Sunday. But as Stafford himself said, he always gets out there. No matter what it seems, he is going to try extremely hard to get out there and play. That is the expectation, even if he is not the usual effectiveness as it relates to throwing on Sunday.
All right, I called it. DeAndre Swift, hopefully against Carolina, can do some things and help Matthew Stafford if he does suit up and he's a little bit less than 100%. Thank you so much, Ian. 2 quarterbacks that are healthy and want the MVP are squaring off tomorrow night on NFL Network. Yep, Thursday Night Football, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Prime time. We love them in prime time. What a gift. Then you have Russell Wilson on the other side. Round 1 of this thing, Peter, was pretty good.
Yeah, Cardinals got the best of them, but this one 2 weeks later, how about this? MVP might be on the line in this game. It's a little early, I know, but wow.
Now just on time. 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video. Cool Plays, bro, coming up. David Tyree joining the show.